Man, I swear that I'm a real one, I ain't never losing. And now I'm so caught they spin, but they don't never do shit. I'm in these streets, this shit is real, man, I ain't picking choosing. I gotta get rich before I die, I'm focused on the music. Man, I swear that I'm a real one, I ain't never losing. And now I'm so caught they spin, but they don't never do shit. I'm in these streets, this shit is real, man, I ain't picking choosing. I gotta get rich before I die.
Okay, so we're back again with another episode of Gardening Upshot with Make Me Garden. And we have my friend Rajesh using the washroom. So that's all the BGM here. Anyways, diving into the questions. The first question, Aroj, do you have something to say before we go?
Happy New Year 2021 from Make Me Garden and Family.
Happy New Year. Anyways, going into the question. The first question, should I garden in a soil or a grow bag or planter when I start my gardening journey?
Okay, so coming to this question, it's a very straightforward question that we have told it multiple times and the question is asked multiple times. So we have to tweak it and give
Was
an
the
answer.
question asked multiple times or did you pick it multiple times?
No, it's being asked again and again.
Okay.
So I think how many ever times the customer asks, I think we should patiently answer it. That's something that makes us stand out. So yeah, so first there are always three things that have to be taken into consideration. One is sunlight, water and resources.
Okay.
If you have complete grip of them, if you are very sure that these three things are there in that place, wherever I am putting my planter or I am going to harvest my seed, these three elements are very crucial. So if you want to even directly put it in the soil, I mean in your agricultural land or your own land which you have fertilized it or did something, you should be always sure that it has everything what it requires.
Okay.
And if you're going with, there's a certain advantage when you go with planters or grow bags because everything is controlled. I mean, you have clear-cut idea of what you're putting into the bag. So you have a clear-cut idea. Whereas when you're going into agricultural land, no matter how much you put or something you invest into it, there is always ambiguity around because the soil could not be that loose or fertile, or how much ever nutrients you might add that might not get into it. They might easily get drained.
Right.
And also at the same time, there are some places in the entire, I'm not just limiting it to Hyderabad, I'm telling across India. So there are some places which have rarely see sunlight in their places.
Right.
Like there's a place in Andhra Pradesh called Lambasingi. You don't even
Not just throughout, sorry for interrupting, not just throughout India,
Yeah.
where my grandparents stay, 6 months no sunlight.
Oh, okay.
Because the high rises,
Yeah.
6 months of the year there's no sunlight.
So yeah, so when urban places itself have this issue,
Right.
so when you go with areas like Lambasingi and all these areas which have complete cold weather and all this stuff, so whichever you invest is pointless. So always make sure that you have these three things handy. There should be abundant sunlight, abundant water and resources which your plant would be needing. So make sure that anything you have it controlled with yourselves. And people are also trying to get organic certifications for their land.
Okay.
So for them, all of them, you need 7 years of certification which says that your land should be fertile and it should have no chemical in it. So that's an exact idea of what a controlled land should be.
Okay.
So it should be naturally gifted by the environment. Though you can add some elements like cow dung, vermicompost, coco peat and all that stuff to that area, but it should be naturally gifted.
Right.
It should have that free flowing and aeration area for the seed to germinate. That's it.
So if they have to start between soil or a grow bag, which one is better?
For the urban people, I would definitely recommend start with a grow bag because you would not be demotivated. At least because you have people at least providing you potting mixture, grow
Right.
bags and all this stuff. It's not just
It
us.
makes life easy.
Life easy.
Right.
So if you are going on trying yourselves and if you feel that one nutrient is higher, one nutrient is lower, or one element is totally missing, it
You
would
can
be
replace it.
Yeah, exactly. In a bag, you know that it's coming. It's
Exactly.
coming all together. So that's a great way to go.
Got it. Moving on to the second question. Are the yellow leaves of my herbs fit to consume?
Okay.
And here, what kind of herbs are we talking about?
Okay. So coming to herbs, they are basic herbs itself. There is spinach, there is coriander, there is purslane, there is amaranthus,
Right.
there is sorrel, red sorrel, and what else? Basil at times. People also
Right.
consume basil.
Basil is tulsi.
Yeah, tulsi. So yeah, when you go with variants, we are not talking about again tulsi because there are like Italian basil,
Right.
French basil, and there are many basils.
Premium quality basil.
Yeah, premium quality.
We
basil.
have that, by the way, if you need it.
Yeah, we do have. Like recently, we worked on a project called as LB, and we specially ordered from them. And you will be surprised to know that 200 grams of that seed costs us 2,000. It's a whopping amount, but the client is a premium client. So cheers for that. So yeah, so these are the herbs. So whenever you see yellow is nothing poisonous, what I would say, but it is that plant which didn't get enough of nutrition.
Nutrition as in sunlight wise or
Exactly.
overall?
These three elements again, all over.
Sunlight,
Yeah.
water, and basic
resources,
Okay.
nutrients and resources. Like if you have not watered it sufficiently, yellow leaves. If you have not kept it, if you have not given it proper sunlight, yellow
Mhm.
leaves. And when there is nutrient, there are no sufficient nutrients in the bag.
Right.
You will not find a yellow leaf here just because we have perfect potting mixture. So whichever Suraj keeps you showing in the reels and stuff, you don't find yellow leaves because we have a proper potting mixture which we get from labs. So it is
That
sufficient.
potting mixture contains 18 different nutrients. So you know the plant survives irrespective of the sunlight. Even if we get less sunlight,
Yeah.
the nutrition covers up for it.
Yeah, so you won't get technically you won't get yellow leaves, but yeah, fit to consume is something of your choice. If you like to have something a little bitter, 19-20 chalega, matlab taste. If you are a person who is ready to compromise on a little taste, at times, because sometimes a yellow leaf can spoil your entire taste.
Right.
Sometimes. I'm not telling it's bad, but if you are a taste conscious person,
I mean, people have their own
Hmm.
likings, man. I'm sure people like bitter stuff too. Karela.
Karela, yeah. So if you feel that kuch okay chalega ठीक ठाक बोलेगा, yeah, that's good because it's nothing poisonous. I can say
Right.
that it got less nutrition, so taste will be a little less.
Lesser.
But it's
Lesser good.
Lesser good. It's good but lesser good. Great word to go by. It's just like your friend who cancels Goa trip just a day before.
Still a good friend,
Just a-
but a bitch before the trip.
So something like that.
Okay, moving to our third question. How should I treat the soil after my plant is dead? I think a lot of them don't even know this question has to be asked
Huh.
because they keep growing it in the same place wherever the plant dies. They just keep growing another
Yeah,
plant there
yeah.
and they don't get a good output.
Yeah.
So I think this is the perfect question to answer.
Yeah, I think even Anu would like to know this because when she couldn't take care of her plants before giving us her bags, there were few plants that were dead naturally because some couldn't grow, some couldn't germinate, and sorry that we couldn't show you the procedure. Next time we'll make sure. And also the cyber client, you saw how we
Right.
your cyber meadows client, even we replaced plants for her. So nothing. It's like you grow plants. Some don't show up. It doesn't mean that they didn't grow under the base.
Mhm.
It's like there are roots inside clearly.
Right.
There are white color stuff that penetrates
Yeah,
totally,
yeah.
but they're dead. They couldn't pull up themselves because of maybe some challenges. Could be sunlight, could be water, or could be some other reason, some XYZ reason. So how exactly you should be treating is you should never go directly planting a new plant into the soil which already 2 to 3 plants are dead or one plant is dead which has been there for quite a while and couldn't survive. So what you have to do is you have to totally upside down. You have to completely take down the soil from the pot. Keep the pot, plant or anything aside and take a big polythene cover or a bag and take this entire soil there and start mixing it. You will find many roots and kind of different things inside.
Right.
Just try to remove them and throw them outside. They'll be like a small ball of wool maybe. So just collect them, just throw them aside and totally and like give good time and start mixing it. Just try to make it more loose and start putting up some nutrients like you have chill powder, you can put up a little neem oil, you can add panchgavya,
All of this after loosening the soil.
loosening the soil.
Right.
And once you loosen it, add these elements, and you can also add some more elements like insecticide, vermicompost, and some other composts that are available, which are natural. Don't go for chemical, as we suggest you, and go and mix it thoroughly, and your soil is ready. It's good, and you can start using it again. Put it in the planter, and also clean the planter once for the good. And
By planter, he means a grow bag.
yeah, planter, a grow bag or anything, a jute bag, anything of your choice. Or you can also have big ceramic things also.
Right.
There people grow herbs and stuff. So yeah, you can clean it completely and start it all over again. That's good. And if you think that's not a big challenge, maybe when one plant dies, it won't be that affected also. But if you have kept it away for a very long time after the plant dying, like for suppose today my plant dies, I don't touch it for another 15 days.
Okay.
Then do that process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Because basically, I'm guessing it's because the soil gets hard.
Hard. True.
All of this is required to break down the soil and replenish.
Yeah.
Got it.
And another good thing is that if you have left your planter in the sun for a long time, it's simply that all the water is evaporated.
Right.
All the nutrients are evaporated. Sun is a very powerful giving source as well as a taking source. So these are all natural lights. Sun is a natural light and the greatest source of energy.
Right.
So when you just leave it around, he can give you, at the same time he can take it away all from you. So if you have left it somewhere, so completely add nutrition to it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so going on to the fourth question. Is using growth booster better or natural growth supplements better for a plant?
Okay, I think this is something that needs to be answered, because people are like, everybody will vote for naturally grown,
Okay.
but people would not. 90% of the people who support naturally grown do not eat naturally grown. So it's a very contradicting.
Or
thing.
they think they eat naturally grown.
They think, but actually even they should know deep inside that they are not eating one, because
And people live in denial.
yeah, because 95% consume it from outside.
Mhm.
That's point number one. And in this 95%, 85% people eat something that is related to synthetic boosters,
Okay.
because it can be from some farmer across the state or some person, XYZ person.
Right.
And another 10% could be from Urban Kisan and all these areas, hydroponic farms and all that stuff. They buy directly. There is farm to fridge, farm to fork, there is Raitu Nestam. There are so many places where you get these live vegetables.
Right.
There are government Mana Kuragayalu. There are so many places where these people also use some synthetic boosters to grow it up. So considering this point, you should be very sure that are you supporting something that you are willing to eat. Like are you doing what you exactly plan for? So when there is a benefit when you are naturally growing. When you are naturally growing, you depend totally on water, sunlight and minerals, natural minerals. So you are eating it indirectly. And when you're going for chemically or synthetically boosted plants, you are growing for nutrients.
Okay.
Something that are available in that chemical composition or a organic solvent composition. And sunlight is there as usual, there's water. So you should know which one is your priority to have. Like now people would be really offended if I say that Urban Kisan doesn't have sunlight. They'll say the same nutrients are being covered in an organic solvent. So you should be very clear whether sunlight should be an element in my food or not.
Right.
Or is it okay if I get compromised for a chemical solvent?
So basically, it's just matter of choice.
Choice.
You can go either way. At the end of the day, you're going to eat food.
Yeah.
It's just how are you going to come to that conclusion?
Yeah, so for me, being on Make Me Garden side, because currently we ensure that everybody is consuming food that has sunlight, I would say I would go with sunlight. But when there is a time that comes for food shortage or any other thing, land shortage or any problems in the future, in the 2 decades or 3 decades to come, then I think we would have a shift in consumer choices. So till now, it is sunlight.
So your vote is for sunlight.
Yeah, what is for sunlight? Because I should preach something that I'm doing currently, so I think that's right.
I agree. Nice. Moving on to the fifth and the final one. Are lab-based pesticides, nutrients or insecticides, etc. worth the purchase? Because all of them are, money heavy investments. You have to invest at least decent amount. Are they worth it?
Okay, so I would say that even we buy pesticides and nutrients, but we don't use it for fast consuming crops like the herbs, whatever we are growing. 21 days may it's ready to consume.
Right.
But these things are required for things that consume more minerals like tomatoes, brinjals, carrots, and all these things have more nutrients compared to herbs because they
Okay.
take a longer time and they consume everything that is there in the soil. So whatever you are investing is going into your plant directly.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is people who are investing on them should be very sure if these are certified and assured by the government in the first place.
Okay. Whatever they're purchasing.
Yes.
Okay.
So in the same case when we go, everybody cannot afford buying it from some known faces. Like it could be Gemini group, it could be Kaveri group, or it could be some popular fertilizer group like Nujuvidu and all these things.
Okay.
You cannot, there's a fun fact in this as well. Most fertilizers come from Telugu states
Okay.
and Orissa. Orissa, Telugu, Karnataka states, there are maximum companies, green and organic based companies, or Bhishma Organics too. They got in touch with us recently, so I'm telling the name.
Hey, Bhishma Organics. I've seen that in a movie.
Yeah, Bhishma, the same one.
Oh, I thought it was a fictional company.
No, it's there.
Oh, nice.
It's in Rajahmundry. So,
Nice.
so most of the organic companies are located in Telangana, Karnataka, Orissa borders.
Mhm.
So you'll get to know all these things because we'll show you in the procedure. So yeah, so going to these fertilizers, we should ensure that these are either public listed companies, they are assured by the government, and also they are recognized by the government, and they should be having mandatory tax filing.
Okay.
Their company should be listed somewhere.
But I think, why would you require all these for buying the products?
Because people are not very aware about this thing. They'll directly go to Bashir Bagh in Hyderabad. I know this place. They go to Bashir Bagh. They walk into some random store. They tell fertilizer de do. Acha wala de do. He can give anything. You don't know whether it is approved, certified or something. And many people unknowingly they get into food poisoning and adulteration.
Okay.
So if they're putting some wrong chemicals into it which are not assured, if something happens, it would take them years down to understand why did I get food poison that day.
Right.
He's feeding poison to himself unknowingly. So there is a lot of unorganized sector in this market, as you know, because you keep traveling outside and
Right.
getting to know. So these fertilizers, seeds, and etc. also have a very black and dark economy at the same time.
Okay.
They have their pros and cons
Okay.
because half the seeds which are sold to urban people do not even germinate.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, so that's the reason they don't even invest within us. But I think we are trying to build the confidence by doing this day by day.
You're trying to get that change.
Yeah, that change that people who order online or through us get 100% germination rate. Currently it's 95%, but I think we can take it down to 100%.
I'm sure of that. So, is it worth investing in these products or not?
Yeah, anything that is certified, approved, and is given a green signal,
Mhm.
as we are telling you, we'll also try to release some through our portals, Instagram, through our website portal, Instagram handle, Facebook handle. We'll send you some certifications,
Okay.
or we'll post some stories to all the followers. They can see before buying the product. They can check, if this certification is there.
It's a legit product.
Legit product, then they can go ahead and buy. And at the same time, young startups are also coming with their own solvents.
Mhm.
They'll be approved by Startup Accelerator and by Agricultural Institute.
We are in touch with one young yet to be a powerful thing.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that really soon.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, you were saying something?
so these people, when they get approved from these bodies, even we can recommend them to you. We want to promote younger startups related to this field. So we'll make sure that even you get a fair share of it.
Got it. And with that, this concludes today's episode of Gupshup.
Gardening Gupshup.
Gardening Gupshup with
Episode
Make Me
4.
Garden. I don't know, man. This always is kind of tricky for me.
It's okay.
Anyways, we'll see you soon in 2 weeks.